Did the EFF plan last week's chaos in Parliament? Why does Julius say he is a mess created by the ANC if he is a mess? Can the EFF rally the opposition parties against the ANC in Parliament? And could SARS end Malema's parliamentary political career? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. Since their arrival in the National Assembly and all provincial legislatures, the economic freedom fighters have gotten the nation talking. First, it was their signature red overalls and gumboots, but last week's chant directed at President Jacob Zuma, which resulted in Parliament being adjourned, caught many by surprise. Are they a rowdy crowd or genuine servants of the people who voted them into public office? Is Julius Malema the best person to lead the cry for President Zuma to bring back the money? My guest is Julius Malema. Julius, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Was
me.
it planned?
It was not, because you can't plan based on how a person is going to answer. You don't know if the president gives you the answer which satisfies you. The problem was created by the speaker when she refused to allow members of the EFF to speak, even when they insisted that the question was not answered.
Was there no other way you could have done it?
No, there was no any other way. It was a spontaneous action because revolutionaries should at all times be guided by material condition. The so-called point of order and the rules and the committees were not going to get the country talking again about the Nkandla matter, because it's a laughing matter to the president. He doesn't take it serious. He can just undermine it. So we've firmly put this matter again on the agenda of the nation, and this put pressure on the president to now start taking it seriously and try to find the best response to it.
Any regrets given the outcry and support that you have
There's
received?
no outcry. South Africans are very happy. I mean, even the people who didn't support the EFF, they are saying it looks like the struggle to question the credibility and the standing of the executive in this country lies with the EFF, because the rest of those who are there, they have failed to do that in the past 20 years.
Don't you think you could have handled it differently? And I'm now talking about the manner in which, there was shouting and actually on your way out, even some physical altercations.
I think that that was the best way. There couldn't be another way out. The robustness, the resilience, the determination by those 25 members of parliament from the EFF is a way to go. There was no rowdiness. When we're inside, the ANC people and the opposition, other opposition parties, adhered to the order of the speaker and left the house. And then when they were outside, they were fighting to come inside, as if it's the EFF which locked them outside. Now, we opened, the parliament was adjourned. There were staff members of the ANC who were threatening physical fight, but they didn't have capacity. It was just some old people who were trying to impress their employers, risking their own lives. There was no scuffle. The police were between the EFF and the ANC staff members. And Lindiwe Zulu, to my disappointment, she went to the ANC caucus celebrating that the EFF people are being beaten outside, there is blood all over. And people were shocked, like, how can a minister celebrate blood on the floor of parliament? The ANC has been beating war drums since the EFF stands on Thursday. And they are running out of breath. They are insulting everywhere. We're going to fight them physically. We're declaring war on them, and all manner of threats that they are making, which is not going to work, man. They must come to the table. They must catch their breath. Let's debate when is Zuma paying the money.
But do you allow them to debate?
We do. We are in parliament to debate. But we must be robust. Parliament must be a place where when you are called, you must think twice. must never think you can go and play with those people there. You must know that those people are fearless and they ask all manner of questions and they do not care who you are, because that's where we hold the executive accountable.
Don't you respect what Parliament has said or what is being done by Parliament regarding the particular question that you were asking?
That's a useless process, man. That's what Zuma does. Committee, commission, process, and nothing comes to the table. What is the role of that committee? I'm participating in that committee. What is going to be I'm going to ask, what is the role of this committee? Because there is no committee of Parliament which can supersede the public protector. The work is done. Committee this, committee that. Unnecessary delay. The work is done. When is Zuma paying the money? He must give us the date and tell us the time of when is he going to EFT the money or e-wallet it, whatever the method he wants to use. We want the money.
Now, Zizigodwa says, this is an act of rebels, maskers, parliamentarians who are committed to hijack our democracy, parliament and legislatures. EFF is not in parliament to resolve or to engage robustly to solve any problem, but there to cause destruction and anarchy.
I hope he was here so we can ask him to define what is anarchy. Because anarchy is lawlessness. And that lawlessness is practiced by Zuma. If there is number one anarchist in this country, Zuma, who's not abide by the law, who disrespect the judiciary, who disrespect parliament, who disrespect the constitution. If Zuma was complying with the law, there won't be these problems that we're confronted with. Lawlessness. That's what anarchy means. Lawlessness is a nickname of Jacob Zuma.
But you are not in any way playing by the rules of parliament yourselves.
We do.
Yeah, but howling and not recognizing rulings of the speaker.
Let me tell you, my man, heckling is allowed in parliament. It's in the rules. There's nothing out of order about it. It's a practice of parliament. It is in the rules. Members are allowed to heckle. Members are allowed to call others to order.
Which you don't like.
We do.
You don't. You actually got very irritated when you were called to order.
No, those ANC ones, they use that thing to hide the truth. Once you are at a core of a matter, somebody just stand up, order. They even abuse it. The other one was calling Zuma to order for reading. Zuma was reading an answer. We just hear, order, chair. That's when Floyd stood up and said, that lady must sit down, man. We know that book she's reading. She's irritating us. So they abuse that. We have no problem with point of orders, but don't use them to hide the truth.
Let's look at the future after the break. This question time, please don't go away.
SABC, sharing 20 years of inspiration.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, is EFF leader Julius Malema. Julius, another statement from the ANC says the violent nature in which the EFF engages on issues is likely to take South Africa backward. We warn them not to take us back to the past where we will have no option but to defend our hard-won democracy.
That's a threat. It's an empty threat. There's nothing they can do. There's no one who's taking anyone backward. It's them. When a question is asked peacefully, it's not being responded to, and then people get into a peaceful protest, why do you threaten violence? The ANC think they monopolize violence. They don't know South Africa. We're not scared of any violence. If it means being killed for what we believe in, let the ANC do it. If they are a group of murderers, let them murder us. We're not scared. We've not upgraded our security. Here we are. If there's anything they want to do, let them do it. We will die in defense of this democracy and the constitution which the ANC is undermining. We're not scared. The ANC, the Youth League, the MKMVA, they have been threatening violence since Thursday. No one condemns them. There is no point of reasoning from their side. They tell us of all manner of things about tempers being high. What type of a leader are you when you're talking about tempers? Leadership at all times must be calm, must be reasonable, and must persuade. Must not threaten violence. We're not scared of violence. We're not called fighters for nothing. Let them bring it on. We're not scared.
You were not very calm yourself. I mean, I saw in some of the visuals there when you were addressing a lady who was dressed, I think she's one of the officials there, who was standing next to...
Sergeant Arms.
Yes. You were not very calm yourself. You were very agitated, and that says a lot.
No, that's a rule of an opposition. You must always push them to the limit so that you can expose them. The lady can't tell me what to do. I'm not there by mistake. I'm elected by the people. I'm representing them. I said to them during campaigns, I'm going to fight for Nkandla Meta. I'm going to fight for Marikana. I will wear overalls. All the things I've committed to do, I'm doing them. And I'm happy the voters are saying exactly what we voted for. I don't care about what ANC says, what the former organization, Communist Party says. They can go and say whatever they want to say. We really don't care. We are not listening to them. We are implementing the mandate of our voters. What is that mandate? Mr. Malema, go and unearth the truth from that parliament, and I'm doing exactly that.
But don't you think that the same people, same South Africans, voted for President Jacob Zuma knowing that there is an Nkandla Meta?
They did that, knowing very well there is an Nkandla Meta, but the party misled them. And through our questioning and pushing them, they will come to realize that we've voted for mess. We're misled.
A statement or an opinion in the Sowetan says that the continual disruption of parliament disempowers it because it distracts from the serious business and content of its oversight. EFF's Rowdy Antics places the focus on and debate on less urgent question of the legitimacy of rules and decorum. You don't think that you're wasting time instead of getting the matters to be addressed?
That's an opinion of a person who doesn't know what it means to be in parliament. They just know how to write to newspapers. They must come and sit on those hot seats and realize how difficult it is to ask a question and not get an answer. And there's nothing you can do. When you talk, I take that matter to Rules Committee. I follow procedure. And I knew that these people manipulate the rules. When Gwede said to me one day, the good thing I like about Parliament is that you are going to speak for 2 minutes because you are in the opposition. And if you want to insist, the speaker will just say, order, order. I said, this one doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks I'm DA. He will realize when I'm there that those things that excite him won't work on some of us.
And then there was a question, which obviously you give us an update on. Is Julius the best person to say, pay us the money, when he's in fact supposed to pay us the money?
I'm paying you. I'm paying you. I'm paying this SABC here. He's standing here because of my money. And I'm paying a lot of money, a lot of it. And some of these people who are making noise there in Parliament saying, hey, you must pay your tax and all, themselves are in a serious debt with SARS. The reality is that if SARS, if Parliament required that all of us, before we enter Parliament, we should produce tax clearance, many of them were not going to qualify. And they know that very well. So everybody gets into trouble with SARS, especially when you are a taxpayer. All of us are owing SARS. We might be differing in terms of the amounts. You might be owing 500, another one 1,000, 10,000 and all that. you'll always have problems with SARS as long as you pay tax. Those are permanent problems. They are necessary problems. We learn from our mistakes and we're moving forward. When the matter resume again on the 1st of December, I would have settled my matter with SARS and they will just go and withdraw the case, because we agreed with SARS that on top of the assets they've sold, I must pay extra 4 million. And then the first installment was 1 million, which I paid, and then 500,000 every month. They also take 30,000 from my salary. So I'm complying with all those things. Difficult as they are, I try by all means to close this matter so that I can focus on real issues of fighting for economic freedom of the people of South Africa and avoid these distractions.
So you are paying no less than 530,000 rands per month?
Per month, yes. And the trust which was established by fellow South Africans is the one that is helping me resolve that tax crisis. I want to take this opportunity to thank them. Even the EFF structures are mobilizing resources on the ground.
No
because they
cigarette
are saying,
men.
There's no cigarette there. You know, people who smoke cigarettes, they think that we're all benefiting from cigarettes. We are not part of those arrangements of cigarettes. There's no cigarette man who is paying my SARS matter. That guy actually donated money for the registration of the EFF when we didn't have 600,000 to register EFF as a party with the IEC. And he has since paid his donation tax. He's a friend of mine. I know him. Okay. I'm not going to deny him, but I don't know what type of businesses he does and how he is engaged in those businesses. If there's anything illegal about it, let the law take its own course. We don't have any problem with that. But for my tax issues, as far as I'm concerned, we're going all over to raise money so that we can settle this matter.
Let's just close this discussion by getting something right. Yeah. Conference, your national conference is coming soon.
In December, yeah.
In December.
Yeah.
You are standing as leader again.
I'm not standing as a leader because there is no branch of EFF which has asked me that question. So I'm not answering that question when it's asked by you because you're not a member and you're not even a branch of the EFF. So I'll answer it when I'm asked by the branch of the EFF.
Julius Malema.
Thank you.
All the best when you stand. That was Julius Malema, leader of the EFF. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we get a representative from the South African Communist Party and we send from the EFF to just give us what their two parties are saying, given all these exchanges that have been happening recently. This is Question Time. Please don't go away.
Is a beautiful city of contradictions.
Funerals in Ghana are colorful and flamboyant. Ghana coffins are functional coffins made by specialized carpenters. These colorful objects, which have developed out of figurative palanquins, are not only coffins but considered real works of art. Each year, festivals and durbars are held in various parts of the country to celebrate the heritage of the people.
That's Kaleidoscope, Sundays 5:30 p.m. on SABC News.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Right now, we're joined in studio by EFF National Spokesperson Wiseni Ndlozi. Also, Alex Mashilu is the South African Communist Party spokesperson. Alex, let me start with you. Quickly, what did the Communist Party say following the EFF's matter in Parliament?
The South African Communist Party was extremely disappointed with the behavior that the EFF displayed in Parliament. Parliament is It's an institution where laws are made, where discussion and constructive engagement takes place, and where there are rules that apply. And it is set up in terms of the Constitution of the Republic. And what the EFF did, in our view, represented the disruption of parliamentary processes, and that is why at the end of that day, Parliament discontinued the work that it was set up to perform.
Do you think they had any choice?
We believe that, in fact, there are rules. They had choice. There are rules in Parliament. You follow the rules, and you allow other people to engage with you. So they had choice.
Okay. Listen, you were in Parliament. You actually, I saw you asking for the money to be brought back.
Yeah, it's very difficult to have to respond to the South African Street Committee here, which does not have any capacity and any experience of running any parliament or government. Mashilo says that there are rules and regulations in Parliament that could have been followed. But we made a submission. I mean, what was the business of the day? The business of the day was that Parliament had to exercise oversight over the executive. The President came for question time, for something similar like this, where he had to answer questions that the laws of this country, he's got a duty to respond to. And all parliamentary procedure over the years, the matter of Nkandla, by the way, has been with us for a very long time. All parliamentary procedure that you can think of had been exhausted. President Zuma has been given a directive by an institution of the law that he must pay back the money. Tulima Donzala's report was very clear. It says pay back the money that has been spent. He comes to Parliament, he says that no, there is another committee on the one hand. On the other, the police commissioner must tell, the police minister must tell me how much to pay, undermining the report and the institution of the law. As far as we are concerned, he's the anarchist number one.
Now, obviously, the Communist Party wouldn't agree with that type of submission, but I would also want to just check with you as the Communist Party. What then do you make of the need for the president to pay the money?
In the first place, let me highlight that the EFF knows nothing about running government. They have never run any government. They are new in Parliament there. The South African Communist Party, as part of our alliance with the African National Congress, we have been there since 1994. So these are children. They behave childishly like they have done in government. By the way, this is not true what Mbuyiseni is saying. The report of the public protector does not prescribe the amount that the president must pay back.
But they weren't saying
let's
that
state
either.
this, relax. The report does not state the amount that the president must pay back. The report says that the president, assisted by the National Treasury, with the involvement of the police department, must determine the reasonable amount that must be paid back. All right?
Are you that
Just
impatient?
wait. Let's do this.
No, let's find out quickly from the EFF. Are you that impatient to allow that process to unfold?
Yeah, both ourselves and the public protector have read the president's response as a non-response. He has not said when is he going to pay back the money. The report says, including the letter that was leaked, which was written to him before Parliament, advising him to tell Parliament as to the steps taken in order for him to engage in remedial action. So this is not the discussion that we are involved in, as Alex alludes. We are involved in the discussion with the president telling us when is he paying back the money. Whatever amount it is, he has taken the money of the people, which by his admission, by the way, it means Zuma is corrupt, and unduly benefited from it in his private home.
No, but
we
he
want
never
the
said
money
that.
back.
Listen,
that is what is happening.
No, but let's get something clear. He never said the president is corrupt.
Well, he agrees that the president must pay back money. If the president must pay back money, why was the money spent unduly in the first place? He must pay back the money because the money was spent building a chicken run, cattle kraals, swimming pools that were not supposed to have been built with the people's money. That is the money we are talking about. That's the money that he must bring back.
Obviously, Mbuyiseni is listening to himself. He does not listen to what I say. What I say is that the report of the public protector clearly states that the president has to pay a reasonable fee. These are not my words. This is what is written in the report of the public protector. And by the way, that report does not determine the amount that must be paid. It determines a process, and that process has not yet taken place. To shout in parliament, pay back the money without stating the amount, disregarding the fact that there is a process that will deal with those particular aspects and arrive at conclusions, is not just childish, but is to turn parliament into theatre. That is an institution where we engage. It is not theatre, as the EFF would like it to be. It is. We are not saying the president is corrupt. This is what the EFF would like to suggest. In fact, a person who must pay back the money, the 16 million rand acquired from illicit tenders without any source of the money identified, is the EFF leader. That's why he had said to go to court today. And in fact, the origin of the funds he was talking about right now must be looked into and determined. Are these not taxable funds? Are these not an income? Must they not be subjected to a fund? Here, the EFF disrupted parliament, which will deal with a process of several reports on a similar matter and arrive at a determination about how much must be paid, if there is anything to be paid, at the end of the day, having looked at all the reports. Okay. So they can't create abstract discussions in their mind and therefore disrupt the parliament set up by the people of the country to take our country forward. This is childish exercises that they are engaging in.
Listen, you seem not to agree with that, obviously.
No, Alex is missing the point. The President of the Republic must respond to Thuli Madonsela's report. I'm saying that the public protector has determined that the response that was given was not a response, and he must.
How much did the public protector say the president must pay? If you may say this, how much did the public protector say? No, we are allowing you to speak. We are dealing with concrete matters. How much did the public protector say the president must pay back? Okay. When you say to the president, pay back the money, how much are you referring to?
Yeah.
How was that amount determined? Because insofar as the rest of South Africa is concerned, the report of the public protector sets a process on determining the amount that must be paid back. And that process has not taken place.
Yeah, it has. It has. The question that was put to President in Parliament is when. That's the question that was put to him. Mr. President, which was a follow-up question. When are you going to pay the money?
How much are you talking about? Let's be concrete here. We are talking about a report of the public protector. How much?
I think it's also important.
We are saying you are respecting the law now. Let's now deal with the law. And then let's look at the report of the public protector. How much does it refer to? Has that process taken place? Has Parliament considered all the reports before it to arrive at a determination?
Yes.
Are you just sloganeering or are you talking about concrete conclusions?
It's very difficult for this man. Yeah. We are saying that the question that was put to President is there is a determination that there was money unduly spent. There was time given to him, properly allocated time. He summoned other reports, not Thuli Madonsela. He did. Thuli Madonsela said that there was money that was unduly spent, go and determine it. Okay. He misses the deadline. He comes back to Parliament and says, no, there is a process, there is a process, there is a process. Our determination is very simple. Pay back the money, go and find out what that money must be. And the question that was put to him in Parliament rightfully was, when are you going to pay back the money?
Okay, gentlemen, we've run out of time, but a quick one. When Parliament reconvenes, are you going to allow other matters to be on the agenda?
No, Parliament reconvened. I mean, there are committee works that have happened on Friday. There are committee bodies that are sitting today. Tomorrow there is plenary. Parliament business will go on. That day the business was that President must respond to questions. That was the business of Parliament, which he failed dismally.
Listen.
Okay.
Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. These are minorities. We will deal with them in Parliament and in the streets.
Okay. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest. Please, we welcome your feedback via email, questiontime@SABC. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.